Japan has an incredible tolerance for the sexual exploitation of young girls.
If somebody asked you what your job description was, what would you tell them?
女子高生とお話ができるお店。
なんかそこから軽い気持ちで始めたら、どんどんヒートアップしちゃったって感じです。
売る少女が悪いっていうような考え方が根底にはあります、残念ながら。買う大人と売る大人がいなくならない限りはこの問題はなくならないでしょう。
This is the Akihabara neighborhood in central Tokyo, and it's ground zero for JK, which is what the Japanese call schoolgirl culture. Schoolgirls are actually a really big business in Japan. They sell everything, including cartoons, comic books, they pack music venues, they advertise cafes and restaurants, but you may not have known that you can actually also buy the schoolgirls themselves. JK stands for joshi-kosei, or high school girl, and along this strip, they're everywhere. Not shopping or hanging out like schoolgirls in Tokyo typically do, but selling various services, everything from fortune-telling to massages, to a walk with a client around the neighborhood. All this is being sold in the open, and under the constant watch of a group of men who appear to be the girls' bosses. Before long, one of them comes over and demands we stop filming.
年の女の子が映ると面倒くさいわけですよ。そうそれだけの話。別に。
But this is a public street, right?
Yeah.
So why can't we film on a public street? I don't understand.
We're saying that we could shoot that way. That way.
We can shoot that way. But he's making out like he owns the street.
Like he said.
未成年はダメなんだよ。
So they're saying like just don't shoot the girls.
There's clearly more going on beneath the surface, and we were determined to find out what we could. So we dropped into one of the busiest JK businesses we could find around here, one of several music venues where pop groups made up of school-age girls played at packed houses most nights. All right, well, we're going to find out about JK culture in Japan. This is one of the JK bands. Hi, my name's Simon. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. アキシブプロジェクトです。よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。
The room is full of men, and many look to be years older than the performers, and they know the set list by heart. JK fans usually have a favorite girl, and they're fiercely devoted to her. Some even pay money for a chance at a little FaceTime after the show. I guess this is an opportunity for all of the fanboys to get to know the band a little bit better. They can buy Polaroid pictures of them. They can meet them and speak with them. It's pretty innocent when it's just teenagers meeting teenagers, but that guy's a little bit older.
You have this woman who is your fantasy, and you have an opportunity to meet her. But it doesn't seem real unless you actually touch the flesh. So that's part of the deal. I mean, you actually get close enough to her, get a scent of her, look into her eyes, and it perpetuates the fantasy.
Jake Adelstein has spent more than 20 years reporting on Japan's underworld for Japanese and American press outlets, including Vice News.
This is called Dogenzaka. The name Zaka means hill. This is called Love Hotel Hill.
He's also on the board of the Polaris Project, a nonprofit that helps victims of human trafficking.
So when the JK are taking their osan for a little bit more than a stroll, this is probably where they're going to wind up.
He's tracked the evolution of JK culture from its relatively benign beginnings to a dark and lucrative business.
So how old is JK specifically, the schoolgirl culture?
This issue of like young girls being paid by men to spend time with them first really came up in the 90s, and the term was called joshi-kosei, which means compensated dating. So there would be older men that would spend money for girls to walk with them or talk with them because I guess they're lonely. Not every single guy who is paying money to spend time with a young girl wants to sleep with her or is a pervert. I would say maybe 70, 80%, but I don't know.
So do you think that a lot of these girls are being exploited?
This is the tough part. There's a real gray zone there. Obviously, some of the girls are being exploited. The problem with the whole osanpo no sanpo, walking with these old guys, is the opportunities for that to turn into something really nasty are manifold.
How much of it is organized by criminal groups? Is it something that's sort of naturally done by the girls themselves? They go out and find these dates? Or is there a network profiting from the schoolgirl business?
There's no single network, but you have isolated cases of saying, a group of individuals starting with one girl, collecting sort of a harem of girls and working them on the streets. I mean, there's many, many variations. It's a business opportunity, and it can be a form of human trafficking, as the State Department indicated in their last white paper on it.
The report, an annual review of human trafficking in Japan, singled out the JK walking dates, saying they are often fronts for underage prostitution.
So do you think that there's something that the government needs to do to rein this schoolgirl culture in? Is it getting out of hand?
You could sort of encourage education that would let women think of themselves as something other than sexual merchandise to be purchased by men. Part of the reason that you have this sort of Lolita culture in Japan is because the life and the opportunities for women are so bad. It's a hard thing to stop. This society is one of the most misogynist, sexist societies in a developed country in the world. I would not want to be a woman here.
Tokyo police only recently began raiding JK businesses that were fronts for prostitution. But many say the raids are largely for show. And walking around the Akihabara neighborhood, it seems like the news story should be about how many JK businesses are still open for business. We stopped by one, a tiny storefront on a busy street with suggestive pictures posted in the window. Nothing remarkable in a neighborhood full of places like this. But we wanted to see what an average JK business looked like on the inside. Shoes off, slippers on. They've got Hello Kitties on them. Thank you. Hi. Thank you. Apparently, I can chat for half an hour for 3,000 yen, which is like $30. And we can also do fortune telling.
じゃあレモンティーになります。
Thank you.
はい、どうぞ。
It's very kind. Okay, so what's next on the menu?
占いがあるんですけど、恋愛があらゆる方法を駆使してアプローチするでしょうって書いてあるんですけど、長所が優れた直感力がある、態度はクールでも心優しいって書いてあります。
Okay, that's true.
本当ですか？心優しいですね。
This is a really uncomfortable experience. What other sort of things besides the fortune telling is on the menu?
あとお話ししてるんですけど、
What sort of questions do your other clients usually ask you?
なんか世間話とか、何でも楽しければ。
While we were talking, there was another rent-a-date going on across the room. With a hidden camera, we were able to listen in, but the conversation was pretty mundane. But it's hard to overlook the very creepy fact that an adult man has paid for the company of an attractive schoolgirl. And JKs often think they're agreeing to an innocent chat, when their employers and clients expect something entirely different.
これはお散歩の時にたまに
And that's your actual uniform which you wore to school as well?
これで学校行ってました。
That's what happened to this young woman, who agreed to speak with us on the condition that we concealed her identity.
How old were you when you started getting involved with the JK walking?
16歳の高校2年生の頃です。
What was your home situation like? Why do you think you decided to get involved when you were just 16 years old?
なんかその時はお母さんがあんまり精神状態が良くなくて、で家族も仲があんま良くなくて、それで居場所がないっていうか、その秋葉原に出勤する時にビラ配りっていうのをするんですけど、その日常生活のことを忘れられるって感じです。
So you understood that you were supposed to walk with these men, but you thought that that was all you had to do.
そこから軽い気持ちで始めたら、どんどんヒートアップしちゃったって感じです。その裏のオプションもあるし、変なことが多いっていうか、その交渉して決めるオプションって感じで、それはその胸を触らせてお金もらうとか、その男の人を抜くっていうか、抜くっていうか。
When you were under the age of 18, did you ever take money for having sex with these guys?
それはあります。
そうですね、夜の街を歩いてだいたい10時半以降終電前の街を歩いて帰ることができずに一人でいる少女に声をかけたりするような夜間の巡回活動と。
This is one of the few advocates for JK girls. Her name is Yumeno Nito, and she says she's rescued more than 100 girls from trafficking, with dozens more calling her for help each week.
みんなお腹空いて豆腐サラダにしようかじゃあ。
This girl is the latest. She's hungry and lonely and ashamed about where life has taken her. Yumeno and two colleagues served the girl her first home-cooked meal in ages.
はい、ありがとうございます。今は、私たちは日本で、困窮状態にある少女たちの相談を受けています。で、中には JK ビジネスだとか売春や人身取引の被害に遭っている少女からの相談があって、そういう女の子の救済や、いろんな支援につないだりしています。それは最近落ち着いたの？
お母さんがですか？大丈夫かな。
友達とかは学校？
いや、いないです。
そうだった。
全然いない。
そうなんだよね。
もうシャレになんないぐらい全くいないんで本当に。
売る少女が悪いっていうような考え方が根底にはあります。残念ながらそこに少女たちが行き着くまでには、その背景には家庭での問題だったりとか学校での孤立を抱えている少女がほとんどです。で、一方で日本の政府は少女を取り締まるという方法でこの問題を解決しようとしていますが、買う大人と売る大人がいなくならない限りはこの問題はなくならないでしょう。大人たちは言葉巧みに少女たちを取り込み続けると思います。
Japan has been described as a shame-based culture, where the fear of letting down family or society dominates almost everything else. In the case of many JKs who've been coerced into sex, like this girl, they'd rather go into hiding and face hunger than seek help from family or friends.
緊急で来た時にね、っていうことでこういうのもくれてて。あと私たちは食事を一緒に食べる食事提供の支援をすごく大事にしていて、一緒にその家族だったり誰かと食卓を囲む機会を持っていない少女や毎日困窮状態がゆえ食事を一日一食も取ることができていない少女たちへの食事提供をしたり、一緒にご飯を食べるということで相談へのハードルを下げるような効果もあってそういう活動もしています。
すごい美味しい本当に。
本当に誰かとご飯食べた？
いや、いつだろう最後いつだろう。
誰かと食べるってな、いいよね。
Yumino knows what it's like to be all alone. As a teenage runaway, several men tried to recruit her into the schoolgirl sex industry.
社会に誰も私に期待してくれてる大人はいないって思っていました。でそういう時に街で生活をしている時に声をかけてくる大人というのが手を差し伸べる大人ではなくて、その改心を持ちかけてきたり危険な JK ビジネスに斡旋するような大人しか本当にいなくて、で私は幸い、売春やそういう人身取引の被害には遭わずに済んだんですけど、たくさんの友達はやっぱりそこで傷つけられて自殺したり失うこともありました。
It would be easy and unfair to single Japan out as the only culture to sexualize young girls. Tens of millions of dollars have been made on American pop culture exploiting the leering gaze of adults on underage girls. But there's something unique and especially unsettling about the fact that right out in the open, schoolgirls are available for rent by the hour in one of Tokyo's busiest neighborhoods.
I don't think Japan has a very good setup for dealing with runaways or children that are abused at home. And since there's no really good support system, one way they're going to earn a living is doing this kind of JK business stuff.
What would you say to somebody who said that we're just coming to Japan with our puritanical ideals and that we're telling the Japanese how to behave, imposing our culture on theirs?
I would say that Japan has signed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It's a member of the UN. It has agreed to uphold the Poloma protocols against human trafficking. And all we're asking Japan to do is to live up to the international agreements that they've agreed to. And publicly, at least, politicians profess that they want equality for men and women. So I don't think we're imposing our puritanical views on Japan. We're just saying, do you really mean what you say?